All right, so we're firing things up here on YouTube, and we'll be firing things up momentarily on Facebook. So let me get that knocked out as well, and we'll be doing the live casts and good stuff like that there. So let me just get Facebook going on here and lose that one. Actually, I probably should have kept that page, but that's all right. I'll just fire this thing up. Okay, firing things up now on Facebook. Hopefully everything's working. Let me get my title track going here. All right, folks, coming on. And I'm going to be doing stuff live 5x5 over here on YouTube and live, yes, as well on Facebook. Oh, my stars and garters. I won't know what to do with myself. Abrams, appreciate you coming on, dude. Looking at stuff. And, man, I got to tell you what. And Herschel. Oh, I really want to cuss here. Hang on a second. Let's just do this right here, okay? Let's do this correctly. That way I'm not going to get myself in trouble. I mean, I'm really not censored or anything, but I really try to keep it kind of more like, like 12-year-old kind of cussing. But Herschel King Walker, Herschel King Walker, holy crap, man. Herschel Walker, RNC, dude came out of the door just on fire. Holy crap. Herschel Walker, NFL star. Dude is in his 50s and he does MMA fighting. Holy crap, man. He's like, just like a juggernaut. And he said essentially everything that needs to be said about Donald John Trump. He goes, look, I've known the guy for a long time. He's owned football teams. He's a good egg. He doesn't just because he runs for president, all of a sudden become a raging racist butthole. You guys are full of it. Called it what it is. Holy crap. If you guys get a chance, watch the Herschel bleeping Walker speech that he did at the RNC convention. Wow. Absolutely wow. That's really all I got to say about that one. Now me, in terms of like keeping up with stuff and, doing things correctly, yeah, I've kind of been not on the top of my game, mostly because I got to find the appropriate sound effect for this one too. I got this one, sound guy. Trust me on this one. I got just the perfect sound effect for this one. The new Facebook template. Oh man, you want to? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's bad. Okay. Yeah, it's all right, sound guy. I got it. Okay. Yeah. Once he gets into it, the fart files. He won't stop. Dude, seriously? Okay, I think he's out. No, he might still have just a few left in there. Come on, man. Shake a leg and get that thing out of there, okay?
Fatality.
Okay. Seriously, man. Just... Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Stop. Just stop, okay? No more.
Oh, my.
Oh, dude. All right, so anyway, the new Facebook template. Holy crap, man. It sucks. And I do mean sucks mightily. Like, really just not good. Basically, it looks like a really bad template that's a really bad copy of, like, the worst parts of Twitter smushed up with, like, MySpace, smushed together with, like, Google Plus. Yuck. Barry Kayshawn, appreciate you coming on, dude. Bye, dude. It is just a horrible piece of work. And man, I got to tell you what, it's right up there with this whole vote by mail thing. But Mrs. Dude shot me some interesting information, and this really puts it in perspective with the USPS. So let me find that file real fast, and I'll give you guys a read on it. And what it is the guy is a gentleman by the name of Andrew Hammond, and he happens to be a postal guy who actually works for the post office, what have you. And he posted this up on the 22nd, so just 3 days ago. And I'm not going to read you the whole thing, but I'm going to get the bullet points of it. He says, I'm an employee at USPS like everything else in the media gets their hands on. The current news about the USPS, and especially Trump's involvement with it, are hyped and in some cases, total Bravo Sierra. And he does not say Bravo Sierra. He says bull beep. So anyway, he says there are many, many issues that could be addressed. Here are 12 I copied from another postal employee. Number 1, Trump did not get rid of the former U.S. Postmaster General. She retired. 2, Trump does not appoint the new U.S. Postmaster General. He was voted in by the board of USPS governors. So United States Postal Service, USPS. Number 3, processing plants have been shutting down and consolidating for years now. And yes, part of that process involves dismantling equipment, which is most often reassigned to another processing facility and utilized there. Some of the machines are dismantled and they're not reused because, like anything else, they wear out and eventually aren't worth fixing. There's a lot of technology they just don't use anymore. It's sitting in a warehouse rotting, or it got sold off and scrapped because it's old. Number 4, yes, mailboxes in some areas are being removed. And I think they're talking about the ones actually on the street. I've noticed that. It's actually almost hard now to find a mailbox on the corner because most people really don't use a whole hell of a lot of mail going, okay, let me write a letter to Aunt Betsy, lick the envelope, slap a stamp on it, and boop. I mean, literally, I have a roll of forever stamps that has been sitting in my drawer here, and they're forever stamps. I don't have to worry about ever replacing them because they work. So anyway, way, shape, and form is essentially that we find ourselves with less mailboxes. And they say, why? Because mail volume in some areas has gone down, whereas in other areas, quote, like the greater Seattle area, end quote, the mail volume has recently increased. But this too has been going on for years, and as many as 14,000 mailboxes were removed during the Obama administration. Was there an outcry then? No. And unlike Trump, it has nothing to do with the removal of mailboxes now. Obama had nothing to do with the mailboxes removed then. 5, the media lies. The USPS processing plant in Everett, Washington, handled all of the regional mail from the south border of Snohomish County to the U.S.-Canadian border. It closed in 2013 as part of a planned consolidation. True, it was not initially the first plant in Washington to close, but that's how it turned out. The media had a field day with its closure and announced more than 300 employees would lose their jobs. How many employees actually lost their jobs? 0. 6, the USPS is not in debt. At least not in the sense that almost all other large U.S. businesses are not also. The USPS doesn't have loans? Yes. Are they in default of those loans? No. 7, is and has the USPS been losing money for more than a decade now? Yes, but not for the reason most people think, and certainly not for the reason the media reports. The truth is, the Postal Service is not losing money because of Amazon or any other tech company or technological advance in society. It's losing money because in 2006, who was in office in 2006? Let's think about this long and hard. Let's do a little bit of a look at here on Google. U.S. President in 2006. Let's see. Who was the president in 2006? Let's do the math. That would happen to have been George W. George W. Bush. And these things are happening under his watch. But in 2006, Congress passed a law forcing it to prepare for pensions and health care benefits for 75 years in advance. Why? Why? No other corporation, whether in government or the public sector, has ever had to do this. The USPS has appealed this decision every year since every administration and shifted Congress, and it has never been repealed. Donald Trump needs to get on this one. This means the pensions and health care benefits for people who are yet to be hired or even born, the USPS is required to pay and lock up every month in advance. Who bills them? Congress. And do they do so accurately? No. Many times Congress has overcharged the USPS the monthly amount they have to pay. Has the USPS ever been refunded the difference? No. So believe it or not, without this law, the Postal Service would be turning a profit. So, where do you think that excess graft is going to? Propping up bad policy, propping up excessive expenditure, propping up choice little things that the U.S. Congress and Senate have stuffed down our throats? Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Logan, appreciate you coming by, dude. He's in the room. Let's see. Scrolly. Number 8. When the federal government allowed other businesses to handle the package business, DHL, FedEx, UPS, these companies took the most profitable business and left the USPS the least profitable. Delivering to every household in the U.S. and U.S. territories, yes, even Puerto Rico and Guam, regardless of the cost of delivery, believe it or not, the Havasupai tribe that lives on the floor of the Grand Canyon receives first-class mail and packages delivered by mules. No private company wants this business or any business for 55 cents to every door in America, no matter the distances between the customers. Yeah, only USPS carries a flat read letter for 55 cents. The Trump Treasury Department did loan the USPS $10 billion at the end of July. Why did they need it? In addition to the reasons already mentioned above, the coronavirus pandemic has had a significant negative effect. 10. Trump has twice said he would immediately sign a standalone bill to provide even more funding. But the Democrats in Congress would not present a bill that does not include other stipulations such as stimulus checks provided to illegal aliens, mandatory voting by mail nationwide, and bailouts for blue states with cities that have been damaged by rioting. Does this not sound a little bit familiar? Young Scrub, what's going on, dude? Appreciate you hanging out. Every major package delivery service utilizes the infrastructure of the USPS somehow, some way, on a daily basis. The private carriers simply do not have the capability of handling all their deliveries from end to end without having the USPS help them out at some point. But the USPS is limited by Congress concerning the amount that the USPS is allowed to charge these private carriers and are getting one heck of a deal. Amazon especially, man. They are making out like freaking bandits. Number 12, perhaps the most unknown of all. The USPS is self-funding. Translation, everything that they make is everything that they make without Congress and Senate sending them some graft. Yes, this means it's not funded by the U.S. taxpayers. This has been true since the mid-1980s. The USPS revenue is earned just like any other business via sales of products and services. Any money given to the USPS by the federal government is in the form of loans that must be paid back. Are they low-interest federal loans? Yes, but why shouldn't they be? Yeah. If you guys want to see this, I'll throw a link in the room, or I'll make it known. You know what? I can throw that on Facebook very, very easily. Matt Duncan, appreciate you hanging out. Yeah, the new template just blows, man. It blows cats, and well, cats didn't want to be blown. Hang on one second here. Let me just cheat something real fast. Let me jump on over here to ScrewTube, and I can throw the link in the room if you guys wish to see this on your part. So give me 1 second here. Let me cheat. Oh man, I wanted to save that video. That one looked good. It was train bentos in Japan, and it was a channel that I follow that really does really, really cool stuff. So anyway, hang on a second here. We just throw this puppy in the room, and you guys can check that sucker out at your leisure. Oh yeah, he's talking about the 40 mic can. If you guys go up into the me room, I discovered, and I have on my shelves, and I got scads of MREs and stuff like that. But I discovered a 40 mic can, read like a 40 millimeter grenade launcher belted ammo can, which is pretty much a steel box about yay wide by about yay long and by about yay tall. They're not light. I mean, they're very, 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 very heavy steel construction. They are built hell for stout because they're basically built for the U.S. military to abuse, use, and beat to death. But I found in my infinite wisdom that if you screw with them and you mess with them and you figure out the packing size, you can fit 15 MREs. If you snug them down and make them pack nicely, you can fit 15 MREs in a 40 mic can. Now, on my shelf, the bottom shelf is a row of 40 mic cans. And I got to put it in perspective. I wish to hell I'd bought more 40 mic cans back in the day, because everybody, including like cheaper than a-holes, read like, cheaper than dirt, those guys, Sportsman's Guide, all these guys who are selling surplus ammo cans, the 40 millimeter grenade cans are ouch. They are not cheap, but they are an awesome unit of which to utilize because, well, it is strong as hell, and they do work. The other thing that's nice about them is, unlike most of the other ammo cans, they are not hinge tops. You basically have two latches, one on either side. You flip the latch up and around, you flip the other latch up and around, and the whole lid lifts off. Obviously, standard ammo cans got a rubber seal. Obviously, it's been painted with like some ridiculously strong paint. And they work really, 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 really good. So anyway, looking at stuff the way it is, the 40 mic can is an awesome piece of kit. The other thing, too, is also like the smaller cans nest inside. There's actually a way to nest like certain size cans in a certain way that you can fit like two cans and then like a can in the middle. And I think it's the 7.62 cans stacked on, the outsides. And then like the 223/556 cans, which are the narrow cans, or like the 7.62 belted cans, slot into the middle to kind of take up the space. Is there going to be some rattle? Possibly, but you know what? You're also going to have something that's going to be unbelievably, ungodly strong, because now you have stacked steel boxes and stacked steel boxes. Also, probably it's going to weigh somewhere in the order of like something unbelievably heavy, fully loaded up with ammo. Because your standard ammo can loaded up. I mean, I know like your standard 900 round or 840 round, 860 round, whatever it is, can full of 5.56 is not light. Your other standard cans full of 7.62 is really, really not light. As a matter of fact, I actually have a shelf downstairs with some of my ammo supply, and the one that I'm using is actually a plastic shelf setup because they're cheap. They're like $20-$30. And it's actually bowing, so I had to put the heavier cans down floor level and stack them up in such a way that I knew they'd be okay. But that's the other thing, too, is also you have to remember is a basement is a basement. It is sublevel, and potentially it does have flood value, so you got to be really careful. And, of course, understand that if things really, really go wrong, like your sump pump craps out, you will have high water, and you better be prepared for it. Like my sister-in-law, I had to go out and buy her a pump. I had to buy a garden hose, get them set up because their basement got flooded. Now, conservatively, is their setup in their house similar to mine? I think they're lower. My house is actually like 23 feet above sea level. And I think their house is maybe a little bit lower, but they live a lot. I mean, from their house, you basically walk out their back door and you would take a right and you're in the water within about like, a minute of walking. It's like you can see the water. And they're literally at the end of a peninsula. Well, I'm kind of more off inside the edge of the peninsula. And I'm actually not true waterfront, but I am near the water. I walk 10 minutes. I'm at the water in my community. So good stuff like that there. But yeah, you got to be really, really careful about that because a flooded basement is definitely going to screw your day up. So let me see. Scrolly. More stuff going on. Of course, everybody's hitting me with stuff. I can't really answer you guys right now. So I mean, that's the other thing too. Is also the new Facebook, man. It is bad, man. It is bad, bad juju. I do not like it at all. Seems to be said, it pretty much just, well, it sucks. Okay, there's no good purpose to it, and it really truly just looks like it's not good. All right, sound guy. I know it's not good. Okay, so seriously, just maybe he'll get the idea. All right. So anyway, scrolly. On where it's really annoying. Of course, Melissa Milano's unhappy about Herschel Walker. Whatever. Go away, you hack. She really, truly just after Charmed, it's been over. Let's see. We got the second night of the RNC convention. Obviously, everybody's talking about that. Let's see. What else have I been doing? I've been having a lot of fun doing the update stuff because I'm actually back on Facebook, so I've been having a good time on that one. Man, I gotta tell you what, this thing navigates like I'll find it, sound guy. I'll find it. Okay, it really just truly navigates like it navigates like. It navigates like caca, right? It just it navigates like caca. It really truly does. It's just I'd like to pretty much just do that to it, or maybe well that'd be nice too. We could do that always there, sound guy. That sounds good. A little bit more of okay, if you want to shoot the crap out of it, that'd be fun too. But you're not going to do it to my stuff, okay?
Hey, folks, dude here. Come to you.
Wait, whoa. What in the world is that? That's a weird sound file. I don't know how that one got in there. Sound guy strikes again. Stop that. Next thing you know, he'll be doing the the standard core. Don't say the rest of her name. Yeah. He'll be doing that to me, and things really get strange because anytime you say, the
hey, Cortana.
Stop! Do not. No C word, okay? No C word.
Hey, Cortana.
Oh, dude, stop! And now she's giving me like a weird display thing. Don't say the C word. Don't. She's actually listening. Does she work well? No, she doesn't. She's annoying because it is
Death by Snoo Snoo.
No, it is not death by Snoo Snoo. If you're going to say anything that Microsoft does in terms of computer technology, it's more like that's exactly what it's like. Anytime you do something that's Microsoft related, it's you know it, brother. Let's see. Cali Shotgun's going on about, or Abram, he's going on about wrestling with the 40 mic can full of books. So anyway, look at this stuff on Facebook and try to navigate Facebook. Oh man, it really is just not the best thing in town. Oh, what is? I'm not even going to bring that out into the room. Let's just say, if you look on Facebook and you click on the more stuff, there is. I'm not even going to talk about it. It's just annoying. Let's just say that Facebook is playing their virtue signaling. Disgusting. Virtue signaling in the highest order. Oh, you know what? I can do this. I'll cheat this like this right here. Let's just go over here. Let's see. Scrolly. Let's see. I'm looking at stuff. Man, it's really even their activity log on Facebook just blows. It is not easy to utilize. I gotta say, man, the update that they did to this thing. I mean, the original Facebook was the original Facebook. Okay, you know, it was what it was, and it kind of worked, and you could do the thing. But what they did to it was, man, wow, it's really, really sucking butt. Yeah, that's a good picture. Right? I'm just looking up and seeing your picture that you did about the 40 mic mic. Yeah, a 40 mic mic with a penny on it. Yep, that's exactly what a 40 mic mic looks like. And so looking at stuff, scrolly. Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard about that one, but the guy basically hung a Black Lives Matter sign out in front of his auto dealership in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and they still burned his lot. Abram, I don't know what you're talking about swelling, but it's like, I don't know what kind of exercise you're doing, but I don't think you're doing it well because you're doing it the wrong way. Oh man. And that was like years ago. I remember I was working at this one place and we're sitting around, you know, obviously an office setting, you know, everybody's answering the phone. It's kind of like a call answering place. And so we got to talk about things, and the one girl, and she just completely off the cuff this, and it had us falling out of our chairs. And it was like, yeah, you know, we did this workout thing and blah, blah, blah. And she goes, I hate working out. The only thing it does is make me sore and walk funny. And the whole place almost fell out of their chairs laughing. And even worse was the one older guy who was like perfectly deadpan goes, I don't think you're doing the right kind of exercise. Needless to say, the whole place was just completely howling. Because she was just an average looking chick. It wasn't like, you know, it was like one of these girls that walks in the bar and every guy's tongue hits the floor. But man, she said that and the entire place just was rolling on the ground in laughter. That was absolutely one of the funniest off the cuff things ever. Oh, I don't like exercise. It makes me sore and walk funny. Oh man. Cannot begin to even tell you how much that had us in tears. So scrolly. You know what? I'm gonna just cheat over here and just jump over to my side, see if there's any news stories or something that you know I wanted to reference because man, this Facebook thing just sucks. I mean, it really, really sucks. You guys know you're on Facebook and you're looking at it now. You still can use the old Facebook until September, and then it switches over, defaults to the new Facebook. The only thing I did do was I actually hit the dark mode switch, which kind of just makes everything go with like, you know, that muted kind of, you know, black on black with like, you know, white text. It's a lot easier on the eyes. I didn't mind the blue tint, and it was actually kind of funny. There's a reason why it was blue tint. It was blue tint because Mark Zuckerberg is colorblind. He can't see your standard red-green shift. He's locked in with like grays and blues. And those are colors that he can see that actually make things work for him. So anyway, that's what they did with Facebook is they made the template in a blue format. So I guess by simply doing it in a white format, it's easier for him as well. Because if you look at stuff, it is still like the major things use blue text. And that's so obviously Zuckerberg can look at it on the fly and go, all right, that all makes sense to me. Yeah, whatever. Maybe I need to be a douche and just switch things up and do that kind of like almost like that color acuity thing where everything has like, you know, red and green shifted with like all the dots that are like different colors. I maybe need to do something like that. That would actually be just flipping hilarious. Watch him trying to go, eyes all blinking up and I can't see this. That would be epic, man. If somebody was a good computer programmer and code that thing, you know, just cut code for it and make it all so it does that kind of shift with like the acuity thing where, you know, basically if you're like looking at like the eye test thing where you're looking at the circle and it's like the really kind of obscured numbers that you have to like pick out. That would be epic. If somebody made a template that did that and you could do that with like, oh, I don't know, like all your identifying things on your page, That to me would be freaking hilarious. So you'd have Zuckerberg looking at your page going, ah, like a vampire in the sunlight. That to me would just be hilarious. So Scrolly goes, Scrolly. I've been back on Facebook for exactly 3 days, and I'm having fun with the memes, and I'm having a lot of fun with the memes. In the 30 days I had time out, I've been generating quite a bit of art, and I'll be pulling it out occasionally and sticking it up there for good measure and moving out smartly and stuff like that there. Coming out about a 9:30 time clock, I can probably talk about this now because, well, you guys have had enough time to adjust to, me being live yet again, all the good stuff like that there. So let's just simply just broach this one as it is. Marty Marr, who's on YouTube as Manufactured Homesteader, also known as My Damn Channel, he received from me a shelf-stable MRE pizza. Hopefully you guys can kind of see that. I know you can see it on the YouTube side, not too terribly, but I'm trying to not overflash this thing too bad for the Facebook side. But let me kill the light here so you guys can see it also YouTube. Yeah, well, you can kind of see it. It's really not easy font to read in any case. But what this is this is a shelf-stable pizza made by Sterling Foods, and the numbers on it are just not the best. Now, what I did was I took this shelf-stable pizza, which is essentially what we're foisting upon our military, and we sent them this little brick of goodness versus sending them a bit of something that looks like this. Now, if we sent this to our military in an MRE, I think that they'd be very, very, very contented. I'm trying to throw a little more light on there for the Facebook side without over flashing it. There we go. So everybody can kind of see we're talking about just a standard good old slice of down the street pizza place pizza. And I'm actually full because I've eaten way too much pizza tonight. I've actually been a little naughty in that regard. But so anyway, the MRE pizza is what's referred to as shelf stable. There's a place that the U.S. military uses called NATIC Labs. So NATIC, I think it's ICK, but NATIC Labs is the food laboratories that designs military MRE type stuff. So this is all on them. They invented the shelf-stable pizza. So I kicked one of these things out to Marty, and I was like, dude, here you go. And I basically shipped him out like, one of those little USPS small priority boxes. It was this, a retort pouch of the vegetable lasagna, and a MRE mocha coffee bar. And he said the coffee bar was like the best thing in the box. Everything else in there was kind of, so pretty much he was like, I'm going to eat this MRE stuff. And as soon as he cracked the pizza, I was like, dude, probably what you need to do is you need to eat about half the pizza at like room temperature, then take the other half of the pizza, throw it in like a toaster oven, heat it up, see if it makes any difference, and see if you find any difference between the two of them. And he said, all right, man, let me give this one a try. And he took a bite of the room temperature MRE pizza. And it was, he was not into it. And then he's like, all right, well, let me try it after it's been in the toaster oven. And it was, yeah. And for the rest of the time, he was walking around with just, more than a little bit of gut rumbles and dealing with the fact that, well, things that were inside were seeking outside. Yeah, it definitely was not a happy time for Marty after eating the MRE pizza and the retort pouch of vegetable lasagna. And that's even after chasing it down with a ton of Parmesan cheese. He's like, man, both of these things are swings, misses, and they sucked. Now, I can tell you from my own experience after trying the MRE pizza, dude, it's It's just bad, okay? Do not eat the MRE pizza, okay? This is something that you give as a trade item to somebody who's starving, mostly because you are not going to eat it. But that also brings us back to another case of me. That's right. Another episode of All right, I'm not going to eat the MRE pizza because I've had it. The shelf-stable one sucks. But because we're doing an episode of dudes eating weird stuff again, I'm going to eat the chili and macaroni. That's probably backwards on YouTube, but it says chili and macaroni. Let me look at the stats on this thing real fast, okay? What this is, I'm going to throw a little line on the subject sheet here. It is 260 calories, 60 calories from fat, 7 grams of total fat, 3 grams of saturated fat, 0 grams of trans fat. Well, that's always nice to know. The cholesterol is 25 milligrams. The sodium is 320 milligrams, which is really low for an MRE device. I'm really surprised on that one. 36 carbohydrates, 3 grams of fiber, because you never, ever, ever, you just don't, well, how do you put it lightly? You don't, no, you do not, when you've been eating MREs at all, you just do not ever have need for, well, visiting the potty, because you're not crapping, okay? You are just not ever going to run out to the blue box and, No. But let's just say when you finally do work it out, all you hear is the one guy in there going, oh, man, my stomach's really bothering me. I got to use the bathroom. I'll be back in a few minutes. The door closes, and all you hear is, because it's coming out sideways. Oh, man. He's having a real bad day because it's been in there for a while. Oh, man. I don't know if that's all that sound guy, but man, I'll tell you what, it ain't a good time to be eating MRE pizza and dealing with the after effects. All right, so let's just try this and see what we get here and see where we go to from here. But imagine if you would, dude eating MREs in the weird crap zone. All right, so anyway, let's pop this sucker open here and give it a try. And I actually have the long spoon, so I came prepared. I'm really not looking forward to this because, you know, Marty said that the vegetable lasagna just flat out sucked. And I've been seeing that modern MREs really, truly have not been looking all that intriguing. And this thing is like a freaking brick, man. It literally is like compacted as all get out. It's very, 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 very compressed. I'm really not looking forward to this. But the trick of the trade is you don't ever open just the top of the MRE, okay? You open it like a bowl. That's the way you open an MRE, okay? Now, I know you can do the little tear thing and all the good stuff like that there, but I'm not going to do that, okay? I'm going to use a pair of scissors. I'm really not looking forward to this. You know, when I'm looking over there and I'm seeing this perfectly good slice of pizza, it's just like, you know, begging for me to eat it. And I'm looking at this thing that's like a super compressed brick of, literally, it's like a compressed brick. It literally is a compressed brick of like stuff. Smells okay. Taste wise, that remains to be seen. But it's like a compressed brick of, I mean, you literally can take this thing out and like eat it like, you know, like it's like a piece of like meat. I'm really not looking forward to this. It's like a brick. I mean, it literally is like a brick, folks. Mm. It's dying for hot sauce. I'll tell you that for right off the bat. It is literally okay. The flavor compounds that I'm getting out of this right off the bat is this. There's like a chili hit that's like right there. The tomato is like right there. Whatever cheese they put in here is like way in the background. You know what? Hang on a second. Oh, I'll be right back. This is not going to do it. I will be back in 10 seconds. It ain't Tabasco, but it will save my bacon. Some good old Frank's hot sauce. All right, so let's just give this sucker a whirl. It's a fresh bottle. Excuse me. Mrs. Dude is a huge fan of Frank's. I don't mind it. I think it's got a really good taste. It's kind of more of something that you would put on like buffalo wings or something. And it does make a really kicking buffalo wing sauce. Trust me. I mean, you mix this thing up with some butter, and it's like butter and garlic. The Frank's is like on point. All right, so got some on there. Got some on there. A smaller dab, but it does have some of the hot sauce. Mm. Yeah. This one is not hot sauce optional. Nope. No, it needs. It really needs. It really needs. I got a nice little dab on top. Ow. It's really messy. That one's attacking my crotch. All right. In terms of everything that this is offering, in terms of combat yumminess, I got 3 bites in, and if I was starving, I would eat this. Since I'm not starving, I'm not going to eat this. It is not a particularly great MRE. It is not a particularly satisfying experience, to tell you the truth. And if I was a combat guy and I was dealing with that, it would definitely get the itty bitty bottle of Tabasco. Plus, I'd probably be looking for some more to round it out. Initial impressions are it is vegan, which is, not a bad thing if you happen to be a person that is, somebody on that side of the aisle. That's perfectly fine if you choose to be a vegan. I really have no issue with it. I love Indian food, and vegan Indian food is not hateful. It's good stuff. As a lifestyle choice, I would tend to think you need more B vitamins. I would tend to think you need more of the complex stuff you're getting out of meat. I mean, we're basically built to be omnivores. We can live on, a vegan lifestyle, but there's really no need for it. That is not good. In terms of how I would score things, I would say that gets the big score of a, let's see. I would give it a I would say it needs to probably just
put that thing back where it came from, or so help me.
No, I took it out. I can eat that, okay? But it is most definitely. It is not highline stuff, folks. It is not. I would say in terms of like everything available in terms of taste, quality, and all the rest of that, this is going to qualify as like a half star, as in like barely ingestible. That would qualify in MRE score as probably a 2 stars. And, it's like it's on the very low rung. It's edible, but there's better stuff out there. And dude, trust me, if I had like something else to mix in with that, like a good meat dish, that's literally what I would do. As I would break that thing up, I would throw it in with some meat or something, or I'd throw it in with a stew dish or something. good slathering of hot sauce because it is not all the way there. It needs assistance. And like Abram said in the room, Natick Labs is run by sadists. Absolutely on point, dude. Natick Labs is run by sadists. Yeah, there's no doubt about it, man. This stuff is just, it is not the best thing. So in this episode of, oh, man. This episode of this one was considerably not in the highest range of dudastic entertainment and satisfaction. It was just not 100%, man. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to definitely find myself something better to ingest. I mean, I'm looking at this perfectly yummy pizza over here going, there's nothing wrong with this. This is definitely a palate cleanser. Failing that, there's other stuff to eat in the house, and I don't have to eat that thing. Thank goodness I ate a lot before I ate that. That way I'm like buffering the amount that actually got into my system. I'm diluting it. Hey, that's what I did. I diluted it. So I'm not going to be sitting there just gargling and feeling like...
Death! By Snoo!
Yeah, but Natick Labs...
You're despicable.
That was not a good one. The pizza and that one... You're going to have to be really, really hungry, man. Logan, appreciate you hanging out with me tonight, dude. You have a good one, and appreciate you hanging out with me. Catch you next show. Still here. But man, I gotta tell you what, some of the newest MRE offerings has been just not the best. And the whole thing with this trying to navigate Facebook now, that's the other thing too, is when I find good stuff, I put the links on my timeline. So that way I can just cruise through and I have my full itinerary set up. And I'm kind of not really running 100% on that one. Right now, I'm kind of like, well, also I've only been on for 3 days. So, it's not like I have like a whole pantheon of goodness going, yeah, this is all the material I can jump onto and good stuff like that there. But there is plenty of stuff going on out there right now. And it is very, very interesting to say the least. I think a lot of people are starting to get really, really sick of this whole rider thing. The public disturbances, having this mindset of if you speak out, we'll silence you, we'll ruin you, we'll destroy your stuff because we don't like what you're doing, and we want to basically make sure that you know that we're serious. Well, that's fine, but that's not the way that this nation is supposed to work, okay? We're not needing a revolution right now from the disaffected to say, well, we need to fix all these things because things are so bad. I had really bad news for you. You can go in the poorest places on the planet. You will not find somebody who's poor in this country with air conditioning, running water, refrigeration, electricity, and potentially having a car to drive. That to me is not destitute or poor. That says to me that you're not all the way there yet in terms of making your personal fortune. But you know what? You are better than 70%, if not 90% of the people on the planet who are poor. Excuse me 1 second here. Having that chili and macaroni thing going on there. But, I mean, if you're going to be intellectually honest, you have to see it for what it is. These guys are rebelling just for the sake of rebelling. And truthfully, I would tend to think that the cops right now are pretty much hanging back for 2 simple reasons. Number one, they don't want to get involved in something that's they're not going to get backed up on and it blows up on them. Number two, they know is if it goes down hardcore, they're going to be the entrenched guys having to fight their way out. Now, that said, I mean, if you go running up with a rifle on an armored police vehicle, you're an idiot because anytime that cop can stick something out one of the little portholes and he can hose you and you're down. But I find it interesting these guys come running up and they have the rifles, and they do not point the rifles at the guys. They just have the guns, and they're like, rah, rah, this, that, and the other thing, blah, 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 blah. But they do not ever point the gun at the vehicle. They know if they create a threat situation, they are able to be dropped. And case in point, you have situations like that couple that basically got screwed over when they defended their property on a private road, and these guys were out rah-rah and carried on. And the wife, of course, is like pointing around a pistol. It didn't function. You know, the husband had an AR-15, and then it got found out later that the attorney general had the pistol modified to be functional when it was non-functional on its seizure. If nothing else, that's a mistrial, and the case is going to get tossed. If anything, I would hope that this shows up anybody that supported Democrats in the past, and these people were Democrat supporters, and they actually were Black Lives Matter supporters. Just like that guy in Wisconsin that lost his car business. You are sucking up and showing virtue signaling for people that don't care. They have no reason whatsoever to think that you're on their side and it matters, because it doesn't matter. That's not what they're after. They're after political insurrection right now, trying to get things to change that they think is going to fix things. I got bad news for me. If Donald Trump was half as racist as they say he is, this country would already be in another civil war. That's just all there is to it. Because these guys would be acting up, and then, of course, you'd have the rest of the population going, oh, we this enough of this crap. And I think it's been unbelievably restrained on the part of people to not start shooting or doing anything violent against these guys when they're blocking the roads, when they're doing these, I mean, all these situations where they're like curtailing people's travels. I mean, that to me is enough of a threat right then and there that you have placed yourself in a situation where I need to make my egress. I don't care you're standing in front of me. I don't care you're holding a firearm. You are stopping me from my point of travel, and I need to engage you. Case in point, I mean, you see it for what it is. I mean, these guys are jumping all over people's cars, and they're beating on them, and they're breaking windows and whatnot. And you have to get yourself in the mindset of what is the line when they cross it, and you say, no more, I'm going over, under, or through. For me personally, if I get blockaded and I can't make any progress and you break a window out, guess what? I'm putting it in low and I'm going full throttle, and I'm not stopping. I don't care who's hanging on. I don't care who's screaming. I don't care who's going under. As soon as you broke a window and you're carrying something I think might be a firearm, you have placed me in imminent danger, and I will respond accordingly. And I think when it goes to a court of law and the grand jury is like, whoa, what was the reason why you this, that, and the other thing? It's like, well, you know, I was blockaded. I couldn't back up. I couldn't make any way to go around. The crowd was beating on the car, which I was, not happy about, but I'm insured, so any damages was going to be covered, until they broke out a window and I saw that they were armed. Then I saw it was imminent threat. Then I figured, hey, you better get out of here, because it's now escalating and you are potentially in trouble. And there has been people shot in trucks. Like some guy driving around like a white Dodge or something or other, he stopped, and then somebody basically started capping rounds off at him. Well, I got bad news for you. If I happen to be carrying and you're capping rounds off at me, I'm going to return fire. If you're shooting at me, I'm going to shoot back at you. Case and point. The only downside is in my state of Maryland, carry is not easy. And I think it's hugely demonstrative of the fact that there's been so many people that have just not acted out and just started just acing these guys left, right, and center, and basically decimating their numbers. I think it's been a case of we've been showing just how laid back society is versus how violent it's predisposed to be in Hollywood movies, and the precepts of all these guys saying how bad and how racist we are and all the rest of these things. I think the reality of it is such is that it's showing that these things are fake. They're not real, and they're based in false premises. Case in point, it can be established and it can be stated that, there's so many of these guys that are now doing these things, and they're just wearing the words out because not everybody in the country is nearly as racist as they say we are. So truthfully, they're reaching, man. They're really reaching. It's just going on and endlessly and circular arguments, and it's just not fun anymore. All right, folks, I'm coming up on 10 minutes to, and like I said, I was not as well prepared as I probably wish I was. So, had 3 days on Facebook, so I really have a lot of stuff stacked up. Of course, Facebook's kind of jacked up, and usually that's what I do references. I do riff on like the news stories and stuff, and I try to give credence and parlance, and talk about those things that I have like found interesting. Also, I think premise is also that you guys also have the RNC stuff going on, so probably got a little bit of a distraction going on in the first place. And I'm not going to be able to match up those numbers, and those guys are probably way more prepared than I am right now. So I guess I'm going to break up with this one. I thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. You get a gold star for attendance, and be sure to check out everybody else along the lines of around the cabin news, around the cabin school, self-reliance, around the cabin buy, sell, and trade, around the cabin food, around the gardens gate, around the cabin medicinal cannabis, and good stuff like that there. You find me on Twitter as 80SPCC. Find me on YouTube as Dude Jerky. Find me on Facebook as Dude Jerky. Find me on YouTube as 80s Podcast Channel. I appreciate your content. You guys hanging out with me today. I know you have many other places to go, but I appreciate your content just hanging out with me. And, you guys get a gold star for attendance. So I'm short by 10 minutes. Oh, well, I'm not that bad off. I always start 5 minutes early, so I guess I'm only 5 minutes off, okay? So I'll catch you guys next week. Have a good one. I'm going to break up with this one. Eagle Cape Thundering is always, you know it, you love it. And I do the, hang on a second, let me find it. I'm going to play it one more time just for the heck of it. I do the, so you guys don't have to. All right, so I'm going to break up with this one, folks. Eagle Cape Thundering is always, you know it, you love it. This one was not one of my best ones. But it was better than this one, which was just... Catch you guys next week. Have a good one, and see you guys next time. See you guys. Where's the buttons? Where's the buttons? Here's a button. See you guys. And the other button. It's